Unconcerned with the consequences of my actions, I completely forgot that most undercover cops didn't travel alone. So I made my escape as if nothing had happened. Money and drugs in one hand, pistol in the other. But when I got to the getaway car that was parked right in front of the house, all hell broke loose. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm writing a book. Yeah, it's gonna be number 6. But I gotta give y'all this daily content. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time this reach you, I greet you. How you doing? Nah, for real, how you doing? I know people don't take time out their day to check on you like they supposed to, but I'm in the habit of it. So do me a favor and drop it in the comments. Nah, for real. I'm finna start getting to them and responding to people. I love it. But with that being said, man, let me put this out into the atmosphere. Man, hopefully I get it back. I told y'all yesterday that I was gonna tell y'all how I started going by Mr. Heyman. And I've been racking my brain on how to tell you the story without telling you a whole bunch of other stories that they stories all in themselves, right? And I can't figure it out. It's gonna be so many questions that come with the story that I'm gonna have to tell another. Well, that's what YouTube for, huh? Right? For you to ask me questions about what I'm talking about. Okay, cool. I came home from jail in 2015, right? And my nephew was locked up, Baby J. I asked him what he wanted to do when he got out of jail, and he said he wanted to be a rapper. And that kind of put a fire under me. I already did music. That's a whole nother story that we don't really need to start talking about right now. But I always been into music and tied to people who are into music. So my nephew want to be a rapper. That's right up my alley because I can really rap. Ran the yard in the joint. There is no one that was in a prison with me that will tell you that I didn't. Well, nobody harder than me on the yard. I bet my locker on it. Right? You'll have to go back and look at some of my old freestyles. I bet my locker on it. And the beauty of what it was that not only could I rap, but I'm telling the truth too while I'm rapping. You're not gonna be able to dispute what I'm talking about, neither. That's why it's easy to say because I mean it. Needless to say, that's neither here nor there. What's important is my nephew want to be a rapper. So by some act of heavenly intervention, right, I end up with a studio that all of the popular rappers in my city at the time was using, right? I'm not name dropping nobody, right? But the majority of the popular rappers from 2015, 16, and 17 all recorded in this studio. So I got to interact with all of them. The ones that's locked up now, the ones that's not here no more now, and some of the ones that's still popping right now to this day in the city, because that's the easiest way for me to get my nephew into the rap game when he come home. Be around all of the rappers. And I'm with all of the nonsense at the time. This is before I changed my life. Do not judge me for some of the stuff that might come out of my mouth. But I'm with all the nonsense, right? I just came home from jail for this book, Loud, Strong Story 0.5. It's on Amazon and Kindle. Get you a copy, right? I just got out of jail for living this book. So I'm with all of the nonsense, which is what the music industry is about. It's a reason why I stopped trying to be a rapper too, right? That's a whole nother story. If you want to hear it, drop it in the comments. I'll tell you, right? But my nephew wants to be a rapper. So I meet all of the rappers and I start recording and putting out music because if my nephew want to be a rapper, I want to be behind it, right? I want to know the ins and outs of distribution and all of that, what companies to use, how to get the money, how to register it and all of that. I need to know all of these things because if you going to put out music, then I need to know how we going to get the money, right? Plus, at the time, I'm still living this book, so I'm funding it, right? right? Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I know. This long before my mama died and all of that. I'm going to see my mama every couple of days, every day too, at the same time that all of this is going on. Fast forward, I end up putting out my first single. And within 90 days of my first single being out, I got a cease and desist letter from a law firm out of, I think it was Florida. Right. There's an artist in the world, his name is Day the Great. I was going by Day, and how his name is licensed is Data Great, and anything, you know what I'm saying, that kind of go with that, right? Anything you can make with that close to Data Great. They own the rights to the name. And they let me know that they would sue me if I didn't take the music down. On the back end, they offered me use of the name for 30% of any revenue that I attain while using said name. I'm not paying y'all for a name. There's so many other names in the world. Right? So many. It was so many other names in the world. I had like 15 nicknames. I told you I used to call me Teddy Bear. I changed my own name today, and it's another long story behind how I changed my name today. It would explain how I deal with DID or multiple personalities or whatever, you know what I'm saying, term that they might want to use. They deal with all of them, right? But we talking about the Mr. Hey Now. I can't use the name because they own it. So I went looking for another name that I can use. I wanted to use Teddy Bear. Somebody owned it. Right? I wish I could have used it. That would have been hard. Right? But I couldn't. So my saying, rewind. While I'm living this book, I started using a saying, the saying, hey now. The reason why I used it was because I had just came home from jail. I am 230, 240 solid. I do push-ups and run and all of that. I am extremely athletic. And I come home to the drug abusers and the drug addicts. There's functional addicts. I kind of call them functional addicts that use hard drugs on a regular basis while they can live in a real regular everyday life. Right. I came home to the functional addicts and the youngsters who were not fighting anymore. When I went to jail, they wasn't fighting. But when I went to jail the first time, they was still fighting. When I came home, they wasn't fighting no more. We weren't doing no more fighting. Then I went back. I came back home. You already know, ain't nobody doing no more fighting. That's why St. Louis got the highest murder rate in the country, because ain't nobody doing no fighting. We not scuffling with each other. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be, and then we gonna try to get away. Like, so I use the saying, hey now, because you can't say it mad. You can't. You can scream, hey now, and it still ain't gonna sound aggressive. Nope. And I used it all the time. I used it everywhere. I got known in the city underworld with the saying, hey now. Everybody knew me by hey now. If you was looking for something, call hey now. I put Mr. on the front of it to make it put some respect on my name, and that's just what it was. I checked to see if I could use it, and I could. You know what time it is? It's time to push. And I started putting out music. If you look at the dates on the music that I have out, they start in 2016 when I figured everything out, right? To get it going, right? If you listen to the music that I put out, I'm telling you, in my first and second project, that my nephew finna come home and we finna take off. I'm just here. I'm just here for a good time. I am not here for a long time. Was my philosophy when I started putting out music. Cause if my nephew want to be a rapper, then I'm gonna start rapping and we gonna make it make sense because I could rap. Not really what I want to do because I'm too old to be a rapper. While I'm sitting here saying this out loud, it's making me feel like I should put another push. It's a Grinch song coming out soon. Watch, watch. And the video is gonna be super stupid because I am me, right? And Mr. Hey Now gonna, put some more music out so I can keep the algorithm a little bit more. But yeah, that's how I got my name. I was gonna get sued for using the original name that I wanted to use. So I took my saying in the city that I was already known for and put Mr. in front of it to put some respect on it. I could tell you an extremely long story on how all of that played itself out, right? On the science behind it, but that's too much, right? That'll be giving out too much good information that I picked up over the years of being stuck in a room all by myself, you know. you know. But if you want to see how I got known in my city for the saying, hey now, then you might want to read this book, right? I'm talking about you might want to read this book. Let me give you the first page. It seems like yesterday that my Uncle Percy told me that the definition of love is that which you go through with somebody. But that was before he died, before I got shot, before I went to prison for 14 years, and before the series of very unfortunate events that led me to where I was in life. What's wrong, Dave? Latoya questioned as she laid across the bed naked as the day she came into this world. Shit, I answered over my shoulder as I continued to look out my bedroom window at nothing in particular. Do I look like it's something wrong with me? You look like a 6'1" tall, dark, and handsome Roman statue with the prettiest smile I've ever seen. She paused to look me over. But it's not what you look like. It's the way that you are acting. It's hard. My first book hard. And it tell you why I went back to jail for them 3 years when I came home from the 14. And it's kind of, where my name came from. Where I got the Mr. Hey Now that I go back. I was living loud. A strong story. But I ain't gonna hold y'all. Y'all have a good day. Y'all be safe. I'm finna, look at this little trophy. Look at my mama. And I might finally cut the cake. I love you, baby. I love you. I miss you. Like, for real.